Some rappers can't even leave their house without getting checked by Opps, such as NBA YoungBoy. He got run up on while filming a video in LA. Some locals didn't like he was filming in the area and decided to pull up on YoungBoy's crew. A car comes by as guys yell at YoungBoy from the vehicle. After frustrating YoungBoy, a video showed him walking the street angrily and screaming back at them, but that's when someone from YoungBoy's crew pulled out a firearm from their waistband, pointing it at the car. The dudes in the car quickly sped away and everyone on the street began screaming. That's the last we see of the video, but we'd learn no casings were let off by YoungBoy's crew later that day. While YoungBoy was pulled up on, DaBaby would stand his ground. Back in 2018, DaBaby was caught filming in East Atlanta. During the middle of his music video, a group of men rolled up to check DaBaby as he was using their turf to make his video. They started questioning DaBaby, asking where his permission was to film in their hood, but DaBaby didn't back down easily and talked back.
Ain't nobody signed no permission slip for me. Huh? Oh yeah? I ain't know that. Okay.
Despite being outnumbered 7-1, DaBaby demanded respect from the group because he ain't afraid of no confrontation.
Check out what I'm saying. I ain't no peewee though, so it don't go like that. It gotta be respect. It gotta be respect. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. It gotta be respect. Look, nah. Y'all just come, y'all give respect. Y'all would've got the utmost respect. You see what I say? What good with y'all? Y'all alright?
Things calmed down after DaBaby showed he wasn't scared and wouldn't obey to their rules. Later on, DJ Vlad would hit up DaBaby for an interview on the situation.
A bunch of guys from the neighborhood show up and ask you for a permission slip. I think they actually use those words.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. So where's your permission slip? Did you feel that it could have gone wrong?
Yeah, your guy was on their side. Your guy was on their side, you know what I mean? It worked out perfect for him.
While both DaBaby and YoungBoy were confronted by some men, Spot 'em got 'em situation made him lucky to escape alive. In September 2020, he posted online that he was hanging out at a famous recording studio in downtown Miami, the House of Hits. With the building being well known to the area, it didn't take long for Spot Him's Opps to find out. After a full day at the studio, Spot 'em exited and hopped in his car, once stopping at a traffic light on the way home. Another vehicle pulled up and used firearms at Spot 'em and his friend. The suspects let off 22 casings before speeding away, leaving Spot 'em and his boy hit. The following day, no one knew if they made it out alive, but Spot 'em's attorney would announce they both would recover fully. While making it clear this was a drive-by, Spot 'em never retaliated. However, the internet would figure out Spot 'em was driving a stolen YouTuber's vehicle. Spot 'em claimed he was only driving the car and wasn't responsible for stealing it. Whether you believe it or not, the YouTuber found his vehicle.
Nah, yeah, it was white. It was stolen in Atlanta. Sheesh. 22.
With Spot 'em's incident incredibly worrying, Julio Fulio might have had it worse because Julio's been caught by his ops many times. In 9th grade, he was caught beefing with rival crews across Jacksonville before his music took off. However, things turned bad for him, as in December 2014, news broke that Devron Crowden had been hit while waiting for the school bus. Julio and Devron came from the same school and were known to be connected with rival street teams. Fulio's school was in the Opps neighborhood, so he was always on edge. With Devron's passing being announced, everyone quickly blamed Julio Fulio for it, despite Julio insisting he had nothing to do with it. He'd make the mistake of dissing Devron to prove he wasn't scared of anyone. The following week, he'd almost brawl with 3 people before jumping on the bus because they wanted revenge for Devron, and everyone claimed Julio was responsible. Once hopping off the bus, he found a spot to relax, but 10 minutes later, a hitter came up to send casings flying to Julio. He crawled to a nearby house after getting hit in the hip, hoping to escape. A lady was on the porch, so Julio begged for her help. Rather than helping, she didn't want anything to do with it and told Julio to get lost. Having nowhere left to go, he had no choice but to act like he had passed, lying on the ground until the coast was clear. Julio would eventually make his way to the hospital, but while getting help with his injuries, police quickly questioned him about Devron Crowden. They grilled him about the Devron case, but Julio had an alibi. Turns out he was on the way to school at the time of Devron's passing, clearing him of involvement. Despite clearing his name, he decided it was best for him to drop out of school once Julio recovered, since he still had targets on his back. But that wasn't Julio's only time being caught by Opps, because in November 2021, Julio pulled into his driveway after a night in the city. When hopping out of his truck, multiple hitters let off casings in Julio's direction, so he grabbed his piece to retaliate. Once it was over, Julio noticed his leg was grazed. However, it wasn't too serious, so he skipped the hospital and hopped on Instagram instead.
Not no shit. I ended my whole on my dad to stop playing with me. And I didn't get hit. I got grazed in the leg. Stop playing. On trading. I ended my whole.
He didn't stop there, following it up, saying, "Y'all missed a whole 100 clips, literally." Once fans learned about it, they assumed Julio would get taken out by the end of the year. But Julio posted to social media to say he was just acting in self-defense.
On trading my register. I back in self-defense, y'all. I back in self-defense. You don't think if I did something illegal, I would be in jail? The police put me in a...
With Julio getting hit out of nowhere multiple times, Quando Rondo and his crew also got hit. With him being most known for his involvement surrounding King Von's passing in 2020, Quando had a target on his back. And in August 2022, Quando nearly got taken out at a gas station.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
When Quando Rondo and his boys parked at the station, 3 hitters emerged and used their firearms towards Quando's crew. Rumors spread that he was hit and passed from the situation, but the reports were wrong. Instead, they hit his best friend, Lil Pab, resulting in his passing. Once police arrived at the scene, video shows Quando crying after realizing what happened to Lil Pab. Even though Quando went through a terrible situation, O Block member Lil Reese has been involved in multiple. In 2019, a rapper named Skeezy posted videos showing Lil Reese having a brawl with 5 guys. To make matters worse, fans claimed Reese went number 2 in his pants during the incident. Reese later addressed the situation, saying 5 men came after him.
Wow. Wow. Where they do that at?
He also posted a video on Twitter flexing his cash, showing they never took his money either.
Some money for me, this how much you gonna come up. Saying take somebody they made me. Myself took money, y'all broke. I don't even do nothing. Jump on the real, and I was back.
But Lil Reese wouldn't be done getting checked by Opps, because on May 15th, 2021, reports claimed Reese was involved in another one.
One of them rapper, Lil Reese.
He was grazed by, and this is not the first time Lil Reese has been the... He was also in 2019.
Reese's crew would be hit while driving a stolen vehicle. A news report said a father used GPS tracking to locate the stolen Dodge Durango. After driving to the location, he'd head into a parking garage, finding Lil Reese and his boys inside the car. Someone pulled a firearm and used it almost instantly, leading to a full-on brawl between both sides. The driver of the stolen Durango tried speeding off to escape, but ran into a pillar inside. Reese's crew exited the vehicle and continued using firearms. As a result, Reese got grazed, and this audio leaked of the man confronting Lil Reese. But once again, Lil Reese would get caught up in the streets again less than a year later. Reese was depositing money into his mom's bank account when a car pulled beside him and unleashed 26 casings at Lil Reese. He caught one in his neck, but managed to recover fully. Later, he appeared in an interview to talk about the situation.
It came out my back. It went from my neck to my back. So it came out like right here, and it came out my back right here. Yeah. So that went out my neck, came out my back.
Someone Lil Reese has managed to escape all these altercations, but a new school rapper caught by total surprise would be Lil TJ. In June 2022, Lil TJ was surprised by a man in a hotel parking lot. The suspect approached TJ in an attempt to rob him, but things escalated fast. With firearms going off, Lil TJ and his boy got hit, but his second friend in the back seat used his firearm in a retaliation, hitting the robber and saving Lil TJ's life. When he landed in the hospital, he didn't look good. He was in deep sleep for a long time, uncertain if he'd ever wake up. Luckily, a few days later, he got up and began recovering. 2 months later, he hopped on Instagram to show his appreciation for everyone's support and dropped his return called Beat the Odds.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy TJ, man. I'm just checking in with y'all. I just want to say thanks for the love, thanks for the support.
While Lil TJ's case almost cost his life, the case of Philly rapper Ralphie OSS was caught on camera. Ralphie was hanging out on the block with friends when a car pulled up and a hitter jumped out, aiming straight at Ralphie. He got hit in both legs, falling to the ground. Thankfully, the hitter's firearm jammed and gave Ralphie a chance to get away into a corner store. After fixing the jam, the man tried to follow Ralphie in, but someone from inside retaliated, forcing the hitter to leave the scene. Ralphie followed up the situation in an interview.
It was quiet, it was slow motion, it's like no cars was going past, no people, it just felt like all this and this, that. Just was like, yo, your son, like, you can't on your son. That's the first thing came to my mind. I jump up. Mind you, I'm in both my legs, I jump up. I go to open the door of the store, I almost fall.